Happy Sunday. The summer's kind of on hold at the moment. The last couple of days it's just kind of adjusting. It's finally rained, which is really healthy because the grass is basically dead. And Crystal's going for afternoon tea today as part of our afternoon tea continuing mission, and so I'm just going to get some lunch.
Welcome to another episode of Toby Stupid Vlog.
Good morning. I'm only wearing sunglasses to kid myself that the weather's still nice. It's a bit... yeah, you see. So, it's still about 22 degrees, but it's summer's on pause. So I'm trying to make the most of the fact that it's not raining and go for a walk. And try and wake up. I'm really not with it today. This is what Mondays are supposed to feel like, I guess. See, this is what you think of when I say English summer, isn't it? It's pouring with the rain. It wasn't supposed to, it wasn't forecast. Anyway, I just had a little wander around Mortlake Cemetery and Crematorium. They're actually very beautiful, and they're pretty much next door to where I am. A couple of famous interns, you may say there. Tommy Cooper, comedian. Richard Beckinsale, actor, father of Kate. There's a couple more and I've forgotten them. But suffice to say, you can look it up on the internet. So, when I had a look at that, it's actually a listed building because it's an Art Deco crematorium. It's actually quite stunning. So, sounds like an odd thing to visit, but trust me, it's very calming, very peaceful. So there we go, that was this morning's walk. Done. It being British weather, it's important to point out that there is the rain and there is the sun. It's the only time when you need to take sunglasses out of waterproof when you go for a walk, and possibly a jumper and also shorts. It's hard to keep up. It's windy. That is the next stage of weather that we've reached. I've just been flying this particular road here, Taylor Avenue, for business, to try and get some local clients on board. So that has been my afternoon project. It's a nice way to spend a walk, and you get to go up driveways you wouldn't normally go up. So that's good. And yeah, I need to go and print some more because I've run out. So that's the next mission. And just to culminate today's absurd weather, we have a rainbow. Sometimes changing a light bulb is a right pain. But it is an energy saving light bulb, so you've got to give them credit for that. Don't drop that onto that black car. That'd be bad. That was good. There's only a few sparks there. I don't imagine anyone significant is going to die at this point. Yeah, that's a good idea. Just hit it. I've got massive hair again, haven't I? Don't look at my hair. How about that? It's a bit desperate. It is Tuesday morning. It is pouring with rain. The grass is very happy because it was entirely brown. I've just written an email to my ex-boss, which is an interesting strategy. But who knows? I just, sometimes there's things you've got to get off your chest. Felt I should throw in my 2 cents. I'm sure he gets nobody else expressing their opinion of how they think he should run the company. I do wish him well, though, really. I mean, there's no hard feelings there. And I need to venture out into this moisture-filled environment and actually buy some things for lunch. This is how my brain works. I mean, like, boom. It's amazing how quickly the grass recovers. Like, it was completely brown and it's rained for 2 days and now it's not. I'm sure you don't care. Anyway, so there we go. That's my daily update. Yeah, I made more bread. Look, it actually has a crust and everything, which you use just a bit of egg. Just rub it on the surface. That is about half just over half wholemeal, about just under a quarter rye, and just over a quarter white flour. So it's a mix. The idea is it's a sort of half white, done in the sort of country bread style, so no tin. And I'm going to try it in a minute, and it's going to be amazing. So there we go. Morning, happy Wednesday. Big hair again. Lean back, doesn't look so bad. So my greatest invention to date, Rajar Smileys, has hit somewhat of a road bump, in so much that because I don't work in the radio industry anymore, and because Neil doesn't work in the radio industry anymore, and because, frankly, Fred works part-time in the radio industry now, we have no Rajar data. Now, usually what I'd be able to do is I'd get it the day before, and obviously I'd smilify it. You could do that when you work in the building. You're not actually releasing the data, you're interpreting it. It's nothing more than a review, really. And then it would go live at midnight. But of course I don't have access to it anymore. So I'll have the data at the same time everyone else does. So quite how I'm going to be able to turn this around quickly, or at all, somewhat of a mystery. So anyway, that's a problem I'll have to deal with after midnight tonight, I should think. This is really why I would like to hire, in inverted commas, an unpaid person like myself, who works in the industry, to do this as their project rather than mine. Because I kind of don't really care about the results either. Because whatever. So there we go. Slight problem. Looking for a resolution. Now, isn't that an impressive sign? Only in Kew. That's why the house price is so high. I'm back in the Dell. It's really nice. The weather always seems to improve when I come in here, so you get a bit of sun. That sounds ridiculous, but you know, the weather always seems to improve at the moment, so you can't really complain. Yeah, we need to get out again. Be an interesting route. I'm sure I've shown you this before, but anyway, these are the redwood trees in Kew Gardens. The giant redwoods, they're quite young, as you can see, because they're only like, 50 foot tall. But this gives you the scale of how big the trunk is when they're fully grown. And by fully grown, I mean about 1,000 years old. Isn't that ridiculous? Morning. Tell you what's slightly odd. For years, once every 3 months, I'd get up with this feeling of dread, not because of anything I'd done, but because the radio listening figures would come out. And this is the first time that I've, in my adult life pretty much, for at least in the last 11 years, where I've got up, it's Rajar Day, all the listening figures are out. I just don't care. And to a certain extent, neither should the people whose results they reflect, because it doesn't come frequently enough for you to pin everything on one number that comes out, 8 once each quarter. There'll be lots of arguments about the accuracy. My feeling is that unless you have a certain number of listeners, then it bounces around too much to be of much use, really. Which is why I invented Rajar Smileys. It's plug. It's just a really a visual representation of the sentiment that you might be feeling today. It certainly is not an endorsement of the numbers. It's barely a reinterpretation, to be honest, because it's not a simple up is good, down is bad I mean, you get 3 numbers for a start. You get a reach, which is the total number of listeners. You get hours, which is the total number of listening hours to your station, and then you get a market share as well. So some can go up and others go down at the same time. And of course, the press release will only focus on the one number that goes up, and it'll ignore the 2 that go down. Or if the quarter-on-quarter results are bad, it'll look at year-on-year and, whatever. I mean, the reality is that the way people feel is reflected on how they've done compared to the last Rajar, and really I hate to use it, but a sort of straightforward interpretation of it. Did a majority of those numbers go up? And if you're in a commercial radio, then the total number of listeners is all well and good, but you don't sell that. In commercial radio, you sell the number of hours you have. So that really is an honest reflection. But obviously, if your hours go up a little bit and your reach falls through the floor, well, that's not that great. So there was Rajar Smileys was born. And it still exists. And despite the fact that I no longer work in the industry, I still have my ways and my means to get the numbers. So it's up. And I hope that everyone takes it with the... Wow, huge lens flare. With the pinch of salt that it's intended. It's not an accurate reflection of anything. It's really just a sentimentometer. So it's astoundingly hot, which is awesome. Nearly walked into a bee. It's so variable at the moment. 1 minute it's like, pouring with rain, and the next minute it's Mediterranean. It's not cold though, it's never been cold. And today especially so. So, it's the morning, it's time for a walk. So then, we're doing some posh vlogging again. I realise the sound's a bit low, so I'll have to speak up. Check out the view. It's good, isn't it? That's why I like summer. So the barley smell is really strong this morning from the brewery down the road. The whole place just smells of all bran. It's a bit full on. So we're going to do a loop. We're going to go across the bridge and come back round. Check out the swanky new path. This is why they closed it last time. Very nice. It's got a little smooth bit in the middle for the cyclists. Other than that, it's cobbled.
Well, I hope you never say this to her face because she'll never get over it.
Yeah, that's why I will make sure all name references are removed.
Well, anyway, the point
Bozo
being
lunch.
I don't
Bozo
really,
burger lunch.
the point being that I just proved myself. Basically, the main reason I'm out here is because of and then I proved myself that that's
You
not
want
the
more
thing.
than that.
That's not the thing I care about. I care about going.
It's a bit like me and Lizzie. We don't like each other because we're so beautiful. This is what it was about for you. It's the only reason.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I know it too. Amazing.
You don't recognise me unless I'm holding a cup of tea.
That's true. Or naked holding a cup of tea. Best of both worlds.